We are in the dog days of the NFL offseason. There's no new football to be discussed, no new OTA or training camp footage to overanalyze, and no new notable signings for us to scrutinize. So what are we supposed to do? Go outside and enjoy the beautiful summer weather, engaging in outdoor activities, which is clinically proven to increase serotonin with loved ones? Of course not. We stay inside and engage in one of the most addictive substances at our disposal as NFL fans: Hopium. This time in the offseason is the peak time to be indulging in a little bit of Hopium, because who's to tell you that your delusional thoughts are wrong? At this point in the offseason, no one can disprove anything, so that means everything is on the table. Is your newly drafted quarterback going to lead your team to the promised land and retire as your franchise's leading passer in 15 years? Sure. Is your team's newly hired head coach going to solve all of your quarterback's issues going into a sophomore year and lead him to be the first 4,000-yard passer in team history? Why not? Is a 31-year-old wide receiver that you signed to a $60 million deal coming off a late October ACL tear going to be the perfect fit as your team's wide receiver 1 to eventually help your second-year quarterback lead your team to what many analysts are predicting as a 9 or 10 win season after said quarterback only won one game as a starting quarterback in the previous season? Whatever you say. See? Isn't it so fun to have a little Hopium in your system? Whether you see it or not, every team's fan base heading into the 2025 NFL season has a little bit of Hopium running through their veins. So let's go through what each fan base is most hopeful for heading into next season. First, let's start with arguably the most competitive division in football, the NFC North. Chicago Bears. This one's easy. Bears fans are hoping that Ben Johnson and the newly revamped offensive line will be the fix to all of Caleb Williams' rookie year struggles, leading him to become the first ever 4,000-yard passer in Chicago Bears history, and dare I say, even lead this team to its first double-digit win season since 2018. There's also hope that this Bears defense can turn it around after a dismal performance last year, and that this defensive line won't prove to be a huge issue with Dennis Allen taking over as defensive coordinator. Detroit Lions. With the departure of Aaron Glenn and the aforementioned Ben Johnson, Lions fans are hoping that everything will be smooth sailing with two new coordinators at the helm in Kelvin Shepard and John Morton. On the defensive side of the ball, fans in Detroit are hoping for some injury luck, given how the injury bug ravaged the entire defense in the 2024 season. There's also hope that the offensive line continues its high level of play, with either Graham Glasgow or Tate Ratledge filling in for Frank Ragnow, so Detroit can go back to back to back as NFC North champions. Minnesota Vikings. 2 words: JJ McCarthy. There are a lot of expectations for second-year quarterback JJ McCarthy as he takes the reins as the Vikings starting quarterback following a great year from Sam Darnold. With KOC as play caller and a great group of offensive weapons, along with a revamped offensive line, Viking fans are ready to see JJ McCarthy take the field after finally getting sick of watching highlights from the Vikings preseason game against the Raiders, which has a ridiculous 600,000 views. Green Bay Packers. Packers fans are hoping that Matthew Golden and the entire Packers pass-catching core will finally reach its full potential and play at a consistent level throughout the entire season. That means hopefully no more drops from Wicks and Reed, a healthy year from Christian Watson, and great rookie production from Golden. Oh, and Packers fans are also hoping that in 2025, that Jordan Love can finally beat the Toyotathon merchant allegations that have plagued him for the past 2 seasons. Now let's move to the NFC South. Atlanta Falcons. Pass rush, and pass rush. Ranking in the bottom 26 of all teams in pass rush win rate since 2021, Falcons fans are hoping that their new rookie additions of Jalen Walker and James Pierce could add some juice to their team's pass rush consistency. And with new defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich at the helm, Atlanta fans hope that he can bring out even more pass rush juice from linebacker Caden Ellis, squeeze out another productive year from Leonard Floyd, who recorded 8.5 sacks with the Niners in 2024, and maybe tap into Rook's potential heading into his second season. Carolina Panthers. Panthers fans are hoping that year 3 Bryce officially cements himself as a legit starting NFL quarterback, with new weapons in Tet McMillan and Jimmy Horn Jr., continued development from Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker, and another year of good offensive line play. Oh, and Panthers fans are also hoping that their defense isn't last in the league this season. With new rookie additions on the defensive line, along with signing veterans in free agency, there's no way that they're going to rank last in the league in 2025, right? New Orleans Saints. Saints fans are hopeful that new head coach Kellen Moore, being an offensive mind to help out presumed rookie starter Tyler Shuck, means that they can see some of that offensive juice that this team had for the first 2 weeks of the 2024 season. Or if that doesn't work out, maybe ownership will finally get the message and start to shed some cap space and prioritize getting high draft picks, especially for this upcoming draft, so they can choose from the many notable quarterback prospects. But that might be a little too much hopium. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Baker Mayfield playing under his third offensive coordinator in 3 years, and after the whole Liam Cohen will he won't he debacle in the offseason, Buccaneers fans are hoping that Josh Grizzard will be able to pick up where his team left off in 2024 and continue putting Baker in a position to produce at a high level, with another weapon added to his disposal in rookie Emeka Egbuka, and hopefully another leap from second-year wide receiver in Jalen McMillan. Bucs fans are also hoping for less injuries in the coming season and for this defensive unit to take a step up, especially the secondary and the young players up front. Now it's time for the NFC West. Los Angeles Rams. With Cooper Kupp now gone from this team, Rams fans are hoping that the wide receiver core of Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams will be enough for Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford to take this team on a deep playoff run. There's also hope that the Rams will get more production from the tight end position this year, with a healthy season from Tyler Higbee and an exciting rookie prospect in Terrence Ferguson. Also, Rams fans are hoping that with another year of experience for this young Rams defensive core under their belt and the solid veteran addition of Poona Ford, this will be enough for this team to sustain the defensive production that they showed in the second half of the 2024 season. Rams fans have a lot of confidence in this squad heading into 2025, with many saying that this roster is shaped up to be a real contender in the NFC. But only time will tell. Arizona Cardinals. Swole Marvin Harrison Jr. Enough said. Just kidding. Well, actually that is a big hope from the Cardinals fan base, that Marvin Harrison Jr. will shut up all of the doubters this season, and that offensive coordinator Drew Petzing will utilize Marv more efficiently in the 2025 season, and that Kyler will prove to be more consistent and hopefully lead this Cardinals team into a wildcard playoff spot. Also, Cardinals fans are hoping and praying for some injury luck this season after the team ended the 2024 season with 18 players on IR, including 7 of their Week 1 starters. San Francisco 49ers. Speaking of injuries, what are the Niners fans hoping for in 2025? With 2025 being the last season before Purdy's cap hit starts to balloon, Niners are hoping that the injury bug misses them this season after what seemed like every single key contributor on the Niners roster suffering some sort of injury in the 2024 season. The Niners have the 4th oldest roster by average age heading into the 2025 season, so Niners fans are hoping that the upcoming season will see them returning to the playoffs and making some noise against what is shaping up to be a pretty tough division in the NFC West. Seattle Seahawks. With the full season for the Seahawks defensive unit playing under Mike McDonald, and with this unit improving drastically in the second half of the 2024 season, Seahawks fans are hopeful that their defense will rank towards the top of the league in 2025. Also, with new quarterback in Sam Darnold and new play caller in Clint Kubiak, the Seattle faithful are hoping that they see more of the peak performances that each of these individuals produced in 2024 rather than the valleys, with newly signed weapons like Cooper Kupp and offensive line help with rookie Grace Abel. Now time for the last NFC division, the NFC East. Dallas Cowboys. After some resounding praise from Jerry Jones regarding new Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer, Cowboys fans are hoping that the team can get back to their 12-5 ways after a disappointing 2024 season. Following a brutal injury to quarterback Dak Prescott during Week 9, fans in Dallas are not only hoping that Dak will stay healthy this year, but they're hoping that he can lead this Cowboys team back to the playoffs and win more than one playoff game. The Cowboys didn't make any groundbreaking moves this offseason, with the most notable probably being the re-signing of D-tackle Osa Odigizua, but with George Pickens now on the team, and hopefully a Micah Parsons contract coming soon, Dallas is hoping that this season will lead to different results. Philadelphia Eagles. What kind of fan base hope for that already has everything? Sure, they lost Milton Williams, but they have Moro Ijomo waiting in the wings to take over for that defensive tackle spot. The Eagles re-signed head coach Nick Sirianni, re-signed all-pro linebacker Zach Bond, gave Saquon and Lane Johnson contract extensions, and brought in some great players through the draft, and are letting their young corners take on bigger roles. So the only hope that the Eagles fans really have this season are to get back to the Super Bowl and go back to back. Must be nice. Washington Commanders. I mean, of course, the Commanders didn't get to the Super Bowl, but honestly, going to the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback who immediately proved himself to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL must have Commanders fans feeling pretty good heading into the 2025 season. The main hope for Washington fans could be for their defense, especially for their run defense, to improve and hopefully become a little bit more on par with their offensive production. Commanders fans are also hoping for Marshawn Lattimore to prove that he's still one of the better corners in the league after a disappointing performance post-trade, hoping that Johnny Newton can take a step up and live up to his pre-draft expectations, and hoping that their offensive line could exceed expectations again, especially with Laramie Tunsil and rookie Josh Connerly. New York Giants. I think the main hope for Giants fans is that they get some consistent quarterback play in 2025. This Giants defense, especially that defensive line, is shaping up to be a formidable unit in the coming season. So if this team can get some consistent production from the other side of the ball, I think fans will be very pleased. With standout receiver Malik Neighbors, along with Darius Slayton re-signed to the team, Giants fans are looking forward to some Russell Wilson moonballs downfield, along with some fun runs from Cam Scatterbo. There's hope that Russ can prove to be a solid starter throughout the entire season, so Jackson Dart could set out for his rookie year, learn from the sideline, and assume the starting quarterback role in the 2026 NFL season. It's time to go to the AFC. First, the AFC North. Cincinnati Bengals. There are a couple things that Bengals fans are hoping for this upcoming season that might sound familiar. I hope our defense isn't as bad as last year. I hope our offensive line doesn't get Joe Burrow killed. And I hope we don't start the season off slow again. There's also hope that with a new defensive staff with Al Golden leading the charge, that this defensive unit can reach a mediocre level so that their team isn't constantly in shootouts. If that happens, then the Bengals can be much more competitive than they have been in the past few seasons, because there's of course an expectation that the Bengals offense will pick up right where they left off last season and continue putting numbers on the board. Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens roster is well built on both sides of the ball, with Lamar under center, Derrick Henry in the backfield, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews as the main weapons. Ravens fans are expecting another successful regular season. There is hope that the Ravens defense will take a leap into becoming an elite unit going into Zach Orr's second year as a defensive play caller. The main hope for this fan base is that Lamar officially and unabashedly shakes off his poor playoff reputation and leads his team to the Super Bowl after years of playoff disappointment. Pittsburgh Steelers. When gauging the temperature of Steelers fans heading into the 2025 season, I get a general sense of apathy. There's an expectation, which history has proved right, that this will be another 9 or 10 win season and a wildcard loss. With that being said, there is some hope that this team absolutely bottoms out this season to secure a high draft pick for their pick of the litter at the quarterback position in the 2026 NFL Draft. I think all in all, Steelers fans are just hoping for this season to feel different than the past 7 seasons or so, with some development from the team's young talent. And hey, at least you don't have to see Mason Rudolph under center, and I really hope I just didn't jinx something. Cleveland Browns. The hope for Browns fans going into the 2025 season is just for this season not to be as depressing as the last. The vibes were horrendous last year, so there's hope that without Deshaun Watson as a starting quarterback of this team, that they can enjoy this season more than 2024. There's also hope that either one of Dylan Gabriel or Shadur Sanders can prove to be a competent starting NFL quarterback in their rookie year, and that their defense can bounce back from a terrible showing in 2024, and that maybe they can be what I like to call fun bad. So not every week is a complete blowout, but they still lose enough games to secure another high draft pick. How about in the AFC South? Houston Texans. Following a bad vibe season in 2024, Texans fans are hoping that the new offensive coordinator Nick Caley will be able to breathe some new life into this Texans offense heading into 2025. Of course, last season's performance wasn't all on CJ Stroud, but Texans fans are hoping for a bounce back from the third-year QB to again lead this team to a double-digit regular season win total and hopefully a deep playoff run. All in all, I think Texans fans are most hopeful that CJ Stroud won't be under unrelenting pressure and that with new weapons in the Iowa State duo of Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, that the Texans offense will be able to keep up with their defense this year. Indianapolis Colts. I think many Colts fans are expecting to see Daniel Jones play at some point during the 2025 season, but there's still hope that Anthony Richardson can be the true starting quarterback that they hope for as he enters his third season in the NFL. With a pretty good group of weapons on offense at this point, Colts fans are hoping that Anthony Richardson can play consistent ball this year and ultimately stay healthy so he has the opportunity to actually be on the field. But at least Daniel Jones should be able to serve as a competent backup or maybe even starting quarterback under Shane Steichen. Jacksonville Jaguars. New head coach? Check. More weapons on offense and defense? Check. Trevor Lawrence taking a leap into becoming what many fans have been hoping for since he got drafted in 2021? They sure hope. There's been a lot of polarizing discourse surrounding Trevor Lawrence, and of course that's expected, especially when you're that level of prospect coming into the NFL. But with new head coach Liam Cohen, offensive line acquisitions, and drafting Travis Hunter along with year 2 Brian Thomas Jr., Jaguars fans are desperately hoping that Trevor Lawrence shows out this year so they no longer have to justify his performances. Tennessee Titans. Of course, with the number 1 pick in Cam Ward, Titans fans are hoping for a great rookie year to bring them out of the dark days of quarterback play that they experienced last season. Many Titans fans have fairly tempered expectations heading into the 2025 season, projecting the team to win around 6 to 8 games, which is a homer way of saying that your team won't be good next season. With some new, albeit expensive, pieces on the offensive line, fans in Tennessee are hoping for at least average offensive line play so Cam Ward can have a fighting chance week to week and not face immediate pressure that hinders his development. What are fans hoping for in the AFC West? Kansas City Chiefs. After a brutal end to their 2024 season, Chiefs fans are hoping that this team bounces back in 2025. Well, bounces back in Chiefs standards because they went 15-2 last year. Chiefs fans' biggest hope is that this offense will take a leap from last year, where they ranked around the middle of the pack, with Rashee Rice coming back, another year of Xavier Worthy, and Travis Kelce finding some juice as he enters what could be his final year in the NFL. Also, there's hope that the offensive line will perform better than last year, especially in pass pro, with Kingsley moving inside and Josh Simmons taking over at left tackle. Denver Broncos. Coming off an incredible 2024 season, Broncos fans are consuming incredible amounts of Hopium heading into 2025. Many fans are hoping for a 12 or so win season, with Bo Nix continuing to play at the high level that we saw during his rookie year. There's also hope that the young skill players like Marvin Mims, Devon Vele, and Troy Franklin take a leap next season, and that the rookies like RJ Harvey and Pat Bryant can become immediate contributors. And although it's pretty much expected at this point, there's still hope that the defense will cement itself as a top 5 unit and provide the solid baseline needed for any team that wants to make a deep playoff run. Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders fans have a lot to be hopeful for heading into the 2025 NFL season. New head coach, new quarterback, new running back, and some other intriguing pieces on both sides of the ball. Now with that being said, Raiders fans are being cautiously optimistic heading into next season, with most fans projecting a ceiling of 10 wins. But with Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator, Raiders fans are hopeful that he's able to get the most out of Geno now that he's playing behind what should be a better offensive line, which isn't really saying much, with key offensive contributors in Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, Jacoby Myers, and more. Los Angeles Chargers. Is a playoff win too much to ask for? That's what most Chargers fans are hoping for in 2025 after their last 2 trips to the playoffs did not end how they would have liked. Not only do they want this for their team, but fans are hoping that a playoff win finally gets some pressure let off of Justin Herbert. Beyond the hope for a playoff win, Chargers fans are hoping for the run game to take a big step up with additions of rookie Omarion Hampton and free agent addition in Najee Harris. The AFC West is going to be tough in 2025, and Chargers fans are aware, so many Chargers fans are hoping for a 10 or 11 win season. Last but not least, let's see what the fans in the AFC East are hoping for in 2025. Buffalo Bills. Many Bills fans this offseason are hoping that their team is able to secure the number 1 seed in the 2025 season with what is expected to be a bit of an easier schedule, relatively speaking. And of course, there's always a hope that this team finally gets the monkey off of its back and is able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. As far as player improvement goes, most Bills fans are hoping for improvement from the defensive line with some new rookie additions in Landon Jackson, Deone Walker, and TJ Sanders, along with hopefully squeezing out some more pass rush juice from free agent acquisition Joey Bosa. Miami Dolphins. There's a bit of unease with this team heading into the 2025 season, which is to be expected. Most Dolphins fans are, of course, hoping for a fully healthy season from Tua, but are also hoping to see improvement from their young talent in Chop Robinson, Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Patrick Paul, Malik Washington, and others. On the defensive side of the ball, there is hope that this side of the ball will take a step up in year 2 of Anthony Weaver's system, and that if this unit, especially the defensive line, can stay healthy, then at least they have a chance to be competitive on a week-to-week basis. New York Jets. I don't think many Jets fans are coming into 2025 with strong expectations for this team. The hope that Jets fans have for their team heading into the next season are mainly centered around seeing some forward progress for the new regime led by Aaron Glenn, in order to build a solid foundation for the 2026 NFL season. There is a tepid hope that Justin Fields is able to start all 17 games, be a solid stopgap quarterback, and maybe even show some improvement as a passer while still providing good production on the ground. New England Patriots. I wanted to end the video on what may be the fan base with the most amount of hopium running through their veins heading into the 2025 season, which is the New England Patriots. And I understand, there is a lot to be hopeful for after what was an amazing offseason for this team. The main hope that Patriots fans have is to show a baseline level of competence this year. Many fans are projecting this team to win around 5 to 9 games this season, with the hope that Drake May takes another step forward with some more weapons at his disposal and an improved offensive line. And I don't even know if it's a hope at this point, because it feels expected that Mike Vrabel will lead this team to compete week in and week out, along with a more established offensive coordinator leading that side of the ball and Josh McDaniels. As far as the defense goes, Pats fans are hoping for a big step up on that side of the ball, with some key acquisitions brought in through free agency, along with some exciting prospects brought in through the draft. The offseason is supposed to be fun, because no one can say with 100% confidence that you're wrong. Enjoy the hopium for your team while it's still here, because I think most of us forget it sometimes that being a fan is supposed to be fun. So save the doom and gloom for the regular season when football is actually being played. But with that being said, maybe also don't go too hard on the hopium so you don't set yourself up for major disappointment.